Hello, folks. It's been a couple of days, and actually, Cecil has been avoiding the internet for the most part for the last while. He hasn't gone live, he hasn't really come up with anything with any effort or anything like that. And it sort of made me think Cecil promotes that he's a music channel, he wants to do beats, he wants to talk about the paranormal, he wants to do gold prospecting, all these things. And he ends up ranting in his kitchen, and it made me think while I was taking a break from my main channel. Now, this isn't my main channel, thankfully. Why not give people what they expected of Cecil? That actually made me get up my ass and come back with a bang. So, this is what I basically come up with. Now, I can't do music or gold prospecting because I can't do those things. But here is my. I have to make myself small. Oh, a lighthouse, which is very appropriate for my type of content because I actually live close to an island called Inch, which it's an Irish name. It's called the Island of Oysters, which I didn't know until I researched it today. And funny enough, when I'm down at the beach with my dog, I do find a lot of oyster shells along the coastline and stuff like that. So that's, interesting there. It's also got a history of a Masonic lodge and a lot of religious history and defense history going back centuries. Goes back to 15th, 16th century. But this is my main channel here for anybody that wants to, have a little bit of paranormal content or a bit of content. Now, Greencastle Beach. Greencastle is in County Donegal, and there is a number of beaches along that coastline. It is absolutely beautiful. This is where I sometimes take my dog. Alright, night vision talk. There we go. Night vision talk, night vision walk, and a paranormal talk in a little garden that actually isn't very far from here, which is it was built by a priest, and the walkway itself is in the shape of a map of Ireland, and in along the garden there is representations of famous monuments, etc., and famous buildings to do with Christianity kind of thing. That's where I sometimes go for a walk to get away and have some silence. I'll probably go in there this evening as well. So what I actually have done was, it's my airsoft helmet. I'm going to make myself bigger here. This is my airsoft helmet, which has two IR lights, like so, and the camera picks up the light. Your eye only sees little red dots. On here we have a body camera, but it's mounted to the front of the helmet, and this is my sort of third eye. The night vision on this can record up to 1296p. So I can go around the garden and I can explore without holding a big heavy camera, which I used to do, which is this one right here. Now, it may seem, light enough and that, but when you're walking around with this for 20 minutes, your hand starts to get really sore on that. Advantage of this camera is it's got the original, the green night vision, not the white, not the black and white. But and Lacken Forest is on Inch Island as well. This garden up here is just about 2 miles from my house. Lacken Forest is on Inch Island, and number of years ago, it was 2019 or 2020, myself and Rachel decided we'd do a paranormal investigation on the island. We were down the beach, just down from this forest, and we didn't know this forest existed at the time. We'd done our little paranormal investigation, didn't get very much, but we packed up our equipment and we're on the way home, and 200 or 300 yards up the road we found this forest, and we stopped off. It was late at night, and it says we'd go and have a look to see would this be a potential area to do some sort of an investigation, but we won't bring the equipment up because it's a hill, it's a little mountain on the island. So we grab one camera. We normally use two when there's two of us. We grab one camera and one 12-587 spurt box, and we went up to the top of this hill and we done a spurt box session. And us on YouTube, we don't make things exciting. We don't make things that they're not. But we were walking around with this camera, and I had the spurt box in my hand, and I says to my assistant Rachel, do you mind taking over the camera? I'm going to do a spurt box. And this was during the summertime. It was a nice mild night. I grabbed the spurt box, and what I done was I done a spurt box session, and the strangest responses came out of that spurt box that I've ever had. And the session is on this main channel. Cecil would be glad to know that some sort of communicator called me a fat "see you next Tuesday." Now, when those words came out, there was only two words. There was fat, "see you next Tuesday." Then I asked, were you talking to Rachel or to me? And the reply was, they were talking to me. So I turned around to Rachel. Rachel was a couple of feet away from me, and she heard it and was flipping amazed by it. But I didn't know that Rachel was actually shaking the camera, and she explained that there was something up there that was affecting her body. I had some of that effect, but not as much as Rachel. But when we came down off the rock, we were fine. And we kept saying we need to go back here, and we never did. And I started going back to that area recently. So we, over time we do some spurt boxes and stuff like that. But at the moment, I did bring my dog up there, and we had a look around in the forest and stuff like that. So that was kind of it's It's very interesting at night time with night vision, because if you night vision, natural daylight is it's not there. And in order to have some sort of lighting for the camera to pick up, the lights have to bounce light off objects. So if you're on a flat plane, or on a flat piece of ground like a beach or whatever, you can only see about 20 or 30 yards in front of you. But when you're in a forest, these IR lights are reflecting light off the trees and stuff like that, and it's a great effect. We also found a wildlife station in there, a little lookout, little hut. Also, the Halloween past, recorded the Halloween Derry fireworks. It's called Derry or London Derry, but it's one of the biggest festivals in the world in regard to Halloween. These were the fireworks up here of the neighbourhood that I'm living in, and these are the city fireworks right here. Also, I am a regular visitor to a place called the Ulster American Folk Park, which I have a number of different videos. On Halloween, there was Josh, who I know pretty well, who told us a story about two ghost ships stories from Ireland, and Pam here told her story. Also, when I have the time, I do some ITC, and you can see here I use my favourite at the moment is a box, a spur box that Appy Droid had sent to me, and I'm grateful for that. We also use, which is in front of me right here, this setup right here, which is noise gate and delay and a couple of effects like that to try and put some effects into the sounds and stuff like that, and experimentation. Been doing that for the last, I think, 2 years. When I feel like it, I do a couple of laps in this online game that I have. Is called Live for Speed. The little BMW, Formula BMW there, I love driving that around, so it's kind of like a filler. We also go to a place called Salt Hill Cabin and Coffee Shop, and it's has a petting zoo there, and I have another visit to put out this week, and it is coming out tomorrow, the next day, or whatever. The next couple of days between now and the 10th of January. So, I do the paranormal, but when I go to interesting places, I tend to film them there as well. Here's the Peace Garden again, but it's during the day, so if anybody wants to see the Peace Garden, that's about 2 miles up the road, in a town land called Muff, believe it or not. Some people think that it's not a thing, but it is, and people go to the nearby town to take photographs of themselves standing beside the Muff sign, welcome to Muff, and that's a big flipping meme in Ireland. Also, we have an abandoned church on the island of Inch, and last night I went and I done a nighttime investigation there. My investigations, I've turned from using a lot of equipment to not using any equipment at all and just using night vision, because the two most important things with the paranormal is visuals and audio, and I like this kind of low-tech approach because I sometimes believe that the high-tech approach with EMF, REM pods, which is it's connected with EMF, and motion detectors and stuff like that. There's other factors at play which will not give you a definitive answer that when these devices show readings, that it's definitely a paranormal source, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm at the moment sticking with the helmet and a 20-volt lamp, which takes a 20-volt power tool battery that I get at Lidl, or Aldi I think it was, or Lidl it was. Another daytime with the dog. This is where I brought my dog to the beach, sat down. When I'm sitting down, I tend to go on a little bit of a ramble, and I possibly will talk about the paranormal. Do you know? Oh God. And then I have my little bits of music there where I created to do some intros and stuff. Sometimes I'll go off on a rant on the paranormal and equipment and spirit box sessions back then at the park. And believe it or not, this channel it became popular for car content. So sometimes, and these photographs were sent by a friend who was at this particular car show in Ballantrae, County Donegal. So she sent me the photographs, decided I would use them in a little slideshow there. So because in 2017, 2018, my channel blew up temporarily with the coverage of the Donegal International Rally, which is massive here in Ireland, and my highest viewed video was made right at the beginning of my channel, and I had just bought a second-hand bridge camera from a second-hand electrical store to film this rally weekend, and it just turns out that, you know, I got a 21,000 view video out of it. You know, it just goes to show that you don't have to have expensive equipment to make some good, interesting videos. There we are again with some, spirit box sessions if you're into ITC. One thing to note when we're talking about ITC, I will never, ever, ever, ever call out for celebrities or call out for individuals. We turn on the ITC devices, we call out for anybody that can communicate, tend to try and not use the word spirits or anything like that. I call them communicators, and we see if we can get replies to our questions. And very often, when I ask, can you give me an indication that you can hear me right now by saying hello, Sam, etc. And those many of times where my name was called out. So I still find ITC pretty interesting, and I still have a lot of radios and spirit boxes above here on my desk. Here's another one from Appy Droid, which is actually a random sweep. It's instead of having a linear sweep, it goes over and back randomly, and it's still one of my favourite sounding boxes. back then to the Ulster American Folk Park for St. Patrick's Day. And there's another, there was a guy we met at the Ulster American Folk Park called Aidan Scott Brown. Now, at the first time we had met him, he had just quit his job and decided to do music full time. And we got interested in his music, and we went to his YouTube channel. We saw, you know, he's got a very unique and interesting voice, and we shout him out the odd time. You know, over here is the blacksmith's fort, where somebody is a blacksmith is demonstrating his art at the Ulster American Folk Park. You know, so you know, I just thought I would share that with you, because I know that depending on Cecil to come out with content in relation to some of the things he talks about, you would be waiting. You wait and you don't expect too much, but there's a slight percentage that may think that he might come out with something of value, but then ends up ranting in his kitchen. So, you know, Cecil thinks that I rant or that I focus on him all the time. If you focus on people like Cecil all the time, you are going to be, you're going to be in a depressed state in not very much time at all. So, you know, this is why, you know, I like to focus on the paranormal, visiting places, going out to places, doing ITC, etc., etc. Even went to a hotel here. Some people have told me that they've seen my video and they actually booked into the hotel after seeing my video. So I'm giving these people flipping free advertising. You know, here's another video. That's photo shots. Cars and Coffee, it's an American thing, but it's kind of an up and coming thing here in Ireland, and I went and I filmed that, and I think that's, oh yeah, Photography, Cars and Coffee, County Donegal. I did put the photographs in there, but I did film around there as well, so some interesting cars there to keep the car fans happy. Harvey's Point Hotel, an interesting area, interesting grounds. Back then I went to the garden that's 2 miles away from my house here, and I took 2 friends with me that are from down the country, and that was flipping comedy gold, you know. But, you know, basically that is it. I done this stupid video. It was to do with a ceramic coating. It was the cheapest ceramic coating on Amazon. Got 4,200 views on that, and I didn't even think it was that good, but I still get comments to this day on that. The other side of that, have an interest in communications. I have a number of different handheld sets. I've got a base station here, got an antenna up in the ceiling. I'm 3 floors up, and I can listen out to VHF and, you know, ships and all that kind of thing, you know. So basically that is what I do when I'm not talking about Cecil, you know. Cecil will now be ranting and raving about Trump winning the election. You know, Cecil just. I think what Cecil does is he uses his channel to say what's on his mind, and he doesn't plan what he says. You know, and he's gone into this kind of AI photographs on Facebook, and he's using these as thumbnails, kind of thing. Now, that would give you some sort of an indication that, you know, he's got some sort of an interest in Bigfoot, and Kentucky has got a lot of paranormal history. The disappointing thing is, Cecil doesn't research anything of that kind, even though he goes camping in Eastport State Park. We never get any content in relation to camping or Bigfoot or anything like that. It was a great opportunity, and it's just been lost, kind of thing, you know. So, you know, he's got an interest in Bigfoot. Never see him doing anything to do with Bigfoot, even though there's a lot of history of sightings, and there's even a Bigfoot organisation in Kentucky. He doesn't get involved in any of that, even though he talks about it, you know, loosely, you know. And here we go with the narcissism again with Cecil as Superman with Sea Love, you know. The thing about all of that is, you know, Cecil, there's no chances of major change within, you know, Cecil and his channel and what he puts out on the internet. There's no chance of a major change anytime soon, because there's so many different things. There's, you know, the situation when he was 15, 16, 17. He said it, he backs it up, and then when he finds out that he's getting really, you know, he's getting a lot of hate about it, he throws the viewers under the bus. That has been going on for about 10 years. And no matter how much proof we put out there that he said it and we didn't edit videos, he's still going along with this narrative. Which is kind of stupid, because he's standing ranting and raving in his kitchen, and the only people that are actually listening to him is people like us, who don't believe him anyway, you know. And then you've got the history of verbal abuse in other communities. He even recently done a video, recently, this over here, this Cincinnati thing, where he called two newsreaders idiots for very, very little reason. Actually, no reason at all. Do you know? Because in Cecil's head, he's more intelligent than any of us. And it's fucking... Do you know what I mean? When you are that far up your own backside, do not expect change, because that's not going to happen. Do you know? And besides all of that, he has potential to put out interesting content, although he would need somebody to use the camera, because he can't move around with a camera, because he just shakes. You know, his investigations in Bobby Mackey's were a complete farce, because he just couldn't keep the camera still, and you just get flipping motion sickness. As well as that, he doesn't do any research, you know. But he talks about interests and hobbies and that, and then doesn't do them. And here's the thing too about, you know, he put out a short he probably has taken it down. He's taken down a number of them. It was about his heart. Well, I can't find it there at the moment, but he was talking about. Yeah, I can't find it at the moment. But he was talking about a piece of software that he needs. Yeah, he took it down. He was talking about a piece of software that he needs to make his beats, right? Previous to that, he was looking for money to medical assistance for his cat. Cecil thinks that he can just come on here and ask the viewers for money while abusing the viewers before and after. You have to be respected in order for people to support you. As well as that, you have to make content for people to support you. The way I think about it is, right, is his beats entertaining to us? Not really, because, you know, very often just a live stream, making a dope beat and that, and he's there mucking around with the keyboard and stuff like that. It's not hugely entertaining. In order for somebody to feel the need to help in his situation, they have to be in the mindset of if I donate to Cecil and he gets this software, he can make content that I can enjoy. That doesn't happen with Cecil. Cecil doesn't realise that people will donate to you if they respect your content and it will improve your content in some way. You know, for example, just say a major thing. My car, it needs some things, and I could turn around and say, guys, I'm in financial trouble. I need 2 shocks for the front of my car, right? In order for me to justify saying that, I have to, at the point of saying that, be doing a lot of content that people enjoy. So the person would say, right, if I don't get my car sorted, there's a possibility that the content will not go out. So let's help the person out. There has to be a justified reason, kind of thing. And if you do get money, in that kind of way, the best way to thank those people is to actually make content for them. When Cecil got money for his cat, all he done afterwards was whinge and cry in his kitchen about us putting pressure on him to show receipts for where he spent the money. Looking for 1,000 quid without even seeing a vet, and then when the vet saw the cat, charged 300 quid. So where did the 1,000 quid come from? Do you know? And then he wonders why we call him a scammer. Do you know? So, as well as that, you have to be a person that is respected. If you are a person that is constantly, name calling, like what Cecil does, and caught up in the controversy that Cecil is caught up in, who's going to support that? Who's going to support something like that? What he's basically saying is, can we have some money from you? And then, before and after, I know I've called you names and stuff, but when I get the money from you, I'm going to continue calling you an asshole, and calling you an idiot, and disrespecting you. But I still deserve the money. That's not the way the world works. Do you know what I'm saying? But I just thought I would share my sort of comeback on my other channel where I took a 2 month break, and I'm sort of trying to ramp up things to finish off the season with, you know, some interesting content. There was times I went out and I didn't take a camera with me, and I thought, these, you know, coming back on YouTube on that channel, bring the camera with me, show people around the place, you know, and give people some sort of content that Cecil's basically not giving us. It's not that difficult to do some content. I would love to see some of the forests around Kentucky. I would love to see some of the paranormal spots around Kentucky. But you're not going to get it from Cecil, unfortunately. He may talk about it. He may give you some research that he got from Zach Bagans to tell you about some paranormal or so-called paranormal places. He's caught up in a kind of a, you know, the entertainment side of YouTube, the entertainment side of the paranormal, and has this core belief that this is reality, that it's paranormal research. It isn't, do you know? So yeah, sometimes when you're talking, when we're talking about Cecil and stuff, we do need to take a break. Now, I don't know why Cecil takes these kinds of breaks. I think he says he's not bothered by us people, but every so often there's a pattern that he does take a break. It gives me an indication that he is bothered about us. Do you know? But I'm not going to put all my energy into Cecil. Cecil thinks that we spend all our days and all our time thinking about him on YouTube. That's not what I came onto YouTube for. Do you know? That's not what I came onto YouTube for. And currently, Cecil has still accused me of a horrible crime, which I'm going to make him accountable for. Now, he did say on a live stream that he was doing this out of anger and hate, or anger, but it's still a false statement. He also accused some of my friends of horrible crimes as well. Now, from that live stream, it looks like Cecil said it out of hate. He doesn't actually mean it, but it's still a false statement, and we want a retraction from that. We also want accountability. We also are standing up for people that have been online bullied by this person, you know. But we can't put all our energy into that all the time. It's good to take a break. It's good to get out and touch grass. It's good to watch some of the content that you were expecting Cecil to give us and doesn't. So that's why I just give you an example. You know, if you want some content, I do that on my main channel there, you know. But yeah, sometimes when Cecil takes a break, I like to take a break myself, but then I like to catch him off guard as well, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I am going to leave it for now. Cecil most likely is going to rant and rave about Trump, seeing as Trump, you know, most likely 100% won the election. So prepare for 4 years of new memes with Trump. I think that's the only advantage, I think, of Trump coming back into office. More memes, more songs, etc. So we'll see how that goes. But I hope my American viewers, you know, I just wish or hope the next 4 years goes well for you, economically, etc. I know Trump's a businessman. I know he says some stupid shit and has really bad takes on things. But hopefully he'll get the economy back running. You know. But I do realise too it was a difficult one. Because when it comes to politics, it's not so much you're voting for the best person, you're voting for the person that's less shit, if you know what I mean. So, you know, I don't know what the next 4 years is going to entail, but we'll see. Interesting fact, the viewers, the nationality of the viewers on my main channel has been, the number one nationality has been the UK, followed by Ireland, because I live in Ireland, and then followed by a tiny percentage of US viewers. Well, US viewers have actually hopped into second place. So my own country, Ireland, is in third position, behind the US and the mainland UK, which I find very interesting. But I'm grateful for those viewers, you know what I'm saying. But I'm going to go because I'm ranted on long enough. Sometimes I like to just turn on the camera and say what's on my mind, and hopefully not say anything stupid like Cecil does. But talk to you again soon. And if Cecil comes up with anything with really, really bad takes, I'll cover that too. But behind it all, I'm going out and I'm filming places for people to watch. I've often had viewers that says, thank you very much for doing this content. I'm disabled, I can't leave my house. And this is it gives me the impression that I'm out and about seeing things through your content. And you know, for somebody to say that, it gives you the encouragement to do more. And when you go out, you think of those people. I'm going to be the eyes and ears for these people. I'm going to show them places because they can't go out. And that's one of the reasons. Because, you know, there was one particular comment stuck with me for years. That they were disabled, they couldn't leave their house, they don't see the countryside, they don't see the outdoors very much, and this was an outlet for them. And I thought, well, let's give them an outlet to see more things. And every so often that comment comes back into my head. Do you know, I need to give this person content for something to say. Do you know, it drives me. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.